Welcome to the Be It Till You See It podcast, where we talk about taking messy action, knowing that perfect is boring. I'm Lesley Logan, Pilates instructor and fitness business coach. I've trained thousands of people around the world, and the number one thing I see stopping people from achieving anything is self-doubt. My friends, action brings clarity, and it's the antidote to fear. Each week, my guests will bring bold, executable, intrinsic, and targeted steps that you can use to put yourself first and be it till you see it. It's a practice, not a perfect. Let's get started. Welcome back to the Be It Till You See It interview recap, where my co-host in life, Brad, and I are going to dig into the daring convo I had with Carrie Fort in our last episode. If you haven't listened to that interview, feel free to pause this now, go back and listen to that one, and then come back and join us. All right, so while this is coming out, there's a lot going on. We are actually halfway through Agency Mini, and this week is just freaking phenomenal. It always fires me up. I really love it.
It's a crazy week.
I know, but you know what we get? We get Bronze Cafe delivered every day. We have lots of amazing support for our mini members with our ambassadors and our coaches, and it's also so fun for like the light bulbs to come on for them. Yeah. And so I'm just like, while it's a crazy week and we put in more hours in this week than we probably do in most of our months, supporting people, it is so much fun, because whether or not they join us in agency, they will never unlearn and forget this information, and they can take action, and it's just so fun.
Yeah, I mean, the being in a container, like in a safe space with people asking questions where we get to sow into them, empower them, and put them in a place where they feel confident and they've gained clarity and they're ready to go interact with more people in Pilates. That is what furthers our mission. And it's why we love hosting Agency Mini, because we get to work with more people in a shorter amount of time. And then some of those people will actually continue to work with us in an ongoing basis. And it's just so much fun. It is really, really amazing. And we always get great questions. And by the end of the week, what is so neat about it is a bunch of strangers come together all over the world, and they're really like shy and not sure. And then by the end of the week, they're encouraging each other and supporting each other and like, cheering each other on and celebrating wins. It's so fucking cool.
It's everything that this industry needs. And like, the more we actually support each other, the more people who do Pilates, period.
Yep.
And like, there will be people who, are in the same cities in that group. And you can see that people are like, oh, I'm here. But then all of a sudden everyone realizes like, you teach different people. Like, you literally don't have crossover. Yep. You're on opposite sides of the city, or one of you has classes and one of you teaches privates. Like, there's nothing.
Or one of you focuses on, elderly, and the other works with, moms.
Yeah. So it's really actually so amazing for people to see, wow, these people are my partners in success and not necessarily like my competition.
Yeah. So community, not competition.
Yeah.
That's what we say over and over again.
We do. And you know what, when people get into agency, that even develops more and more and more. And it's just, it's beautiful. So anyways, the next Agency Mini, the dates probably have been determined at this point, but I don't have them for you. So if you are missing out, feeling the FOMO, as you should, because we would love to have worked with you this week, go to profitablepilates.com/mini to get on the wait list for the next one.
Yes. Yeah. Add yourself to the wait list. We always email the wait list first and tell them about the early bird pricing. So it's worth being on the wait list, even if it's not going to come up for another couple months. So go add yourself there, profitablepilates.com/mini.
Yeah.
And if you are going to be in California, in Monterey for Balanced Bodies Pilates on Tour, we will see you there.
Yeah, we have a booth. So I won't be teaching, but that just means I have more time to actually hang out with you. So I'm actually really excited about it. There's some amazing people. A ton of our elevators, OPC members, agency members are all going to be there. So we're going to have a big party. Brad's got the booth as well. And so if you haven't yet signed up, definitely sign up. I'm sure they have like day passes and also whole week long passes. But Monterey
they usually do.
Monterey is beautiful.
Sure
and
is.
There's some epic people. Erica Quest is going to be there. Our agency member, Christine Waterman, is actually presenting there.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's great.
So it's a whole lot of fun, and we're going to drive out.
Yeah, we're driving out because we needed to bring our own reformer.
Yeah. Yeah, for Elevate weekend, because we agreed
It overlaps.
to do this. It overlaps. So from 12 to 4, I will be in a hotel room with lights, camera, action, teaching our elevators, and Brad will be at the
and we'll be
booth.
smuggling in our own Contrology reformer into the hotel room. So we better get a big one.
Yeah, we're working on that details right now on an awesome hotspot. But these are like the things you have to do to make sure that you can support people in all the ways. And we're on a mission. More Bodies Doing Pilates, and Balanced Body is an amazing company. I've been an ADC, which just means that I am a representative of Contrology. So I love to be wherever they're going to have it. So it'll be a lot of fun. That's a great weekend.
If you're looking at that equipment, we have a referral code for you that saves you 5%. So hit us up. Just send us a DM. Happy to share. But first, I stole your line. We have an audience question, Lesley.
I know. This is this question I got every day, 3 times a day when I was in Dallas with Erica. I get it actually in my DMs all the time. So I thought, you know what? Let's just call it out.
Yeah.
When are the chairs decks coming out? When are they shipping? When are they in existence? And the actual truth at the time of this recording is we don't know, but our goal has always been to be on pre-sale in February.
Okay, 2 things. First off, if you don't know what a chairs deck is, we have flashcards with onlinepilatesclasses.com, and we've already released the mat, the reformer, and the Cadillac decks, and that's over the past 3 years. This year, we're releasing the chairs deck, which is 90-something cards, 99 cards or something like that.
I think it's 96 exercises.
Yeah, and it has been, we've been working on it since last summer, and we're really, really close. I think we, at this point, we definitely got sample of the boxes, and we've started getting samples of the cards themselves. So I think we're 2 or 3 months away. So what we're going to be doing is the best thing you can do if you want more information about this is go to get yourself on the wait list. Go to opc.me/flashcard waitlist. Okay, I'm going to say that again. opc.me/flashcard waitlist. We'll put that link in the show notes, but we will be announcing a pre-sale sometime probably in the next couple of weeks. And then the decks should be shipping roughly 2 months after the pre-sale happens. So and that's why we said a couple months away, because this is what I explain to people, because you may not understand the Cadillac deck was over 300 hours when we stopped counting, and it definitely went over, and I had to still record a few things that we had recordings for, but we didn't have new recordings for it this last week. And I was like, oh my gosh, 5 more hours. Anyway, so these decks do take a lot of time, because after I write the first draft, which I am so proud of myself, how quickly I wrote the first draft. Yeah. My team gets them on the card so I can see them because I'm a visual person. Then I edit them again. Then we actually have someone else who's a teacher come through and read them to make sure that they make sense. And we usually pick someone who has on a different piece of equipment than I am, because I try to make sure that whatever chair you're on, or whatever reformer you're on, or whatever Cadillac, you have information to help you use these cards. Then we have someone who doesn't even know Pilates at all read them to make sure that they make sense. Yeah, so that it's not just all Pilates language, and your mom could pick up a deck and be like, oh, maybe I want to do this, and I get what they're saying here.
Yeah, and then I get to do it again. I get to read them again, because I just want to make sure that I don't miss anything. Yep. And so then what happens is we go on pre-sale, which means you get the best opportunity, the best deal on the deck. Yep. That we'll have for a new deck, and then it is an 8 to 10 week ship print job. So that's why he said a few months. So if we can go on pre-sale in this month of February, we're looking at end of May.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is here before you know it. So, time is flying by.
Yeah. So anyway, get yourself on that wait list.
And if you don't have a chair, get the mat deck, get the reformer deck, get the tower deck. Go get those. You can get those at OPC. Yeah.
And in the future, we've got barrels coming, and then accessories, and then there will be 6 total.
Yeah.
And we will call that a wrap.
Yeah, we will call that a wrap.
Yeah, so we're still signed up for another 1.5 years of production and writing and content creation here.
More photo shoots and all this stuff. So yep. But you know what? It's okay because it's
a lot of fun.
I'm just going to shout this out to Bounce Body in case they're not listening, but just in case Ken's listening.
Hi, Ken.
What's been so fun is that as I've been producing these cards, he's come out with the Contrology piece.
Right.
So I've been able to use where there's a Contrology piece, use that. And, I know what they're in production of right now and that they're trying. And so I may have to like swap what we're doing just so that like I can possibly get what I want. Because, you know, anyways, we'll see. This is just me explaining like, this is like behind the curtain. Here you go. Because I really like you guys to know these are not like, oh, I should do that. You can. I'm just going to tell you it's hundreds of hours of work.
All right. Now let's talk about Carrie Ford. Ever figuring it out? Carrie is a high-performance holistic life coach who uses somatics to bring healing and help individuals change life patterns. She's the CEO and founder of Elevate with Carrie, a transformational coaching movement to raise women's emotional intelligence and their whole body performance.
Yeah, so she is, if you listen to the first interview, she's actually one of those girls that I met on that random, like, let's have a girls' weekend with people that we know on the internet. And so she's one of them, and we're actually at the time of this recording, we're like days away from meeting her and her partner at their place that they, like a home that they have in California. We'll be up in like the boondocks and like just doing lots of stuff to like body hack and pour into ourselves and nerd out on business before we drive off to Monterey.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be great.
Yeah. So one thing that I love that she said was find the mountain with no top that you are willing to climb. I'm going to say that one more time. Find the mountain with no top that you're willing to climb, because this is a lifelong journey. And I think it is, I think it's really easy to go, I'm not where I wanted to be, all right, like da-da-da. And like we get frustrated, but like the reality is that like in bettering yourself, in becoming the person you want to be, in like unlearning the habits and thoughts that you've had from your childhood and your life and the partners you pick and all that stuff, all of that, you don't just like check a box. Okay, won't date the wrong ones again, or okay, won't have like that, won't take that job promotion again. It's like, it is a lifelong journey. And so she talks about like being a woman that sees things differently and is willing to go to her edge over and over and over again because it's in service to herself and the people she serves. So you're on a mountain with no top. And so I hope that like gives you permission, to like, you know, it's not that you can't like take a pause somewhere, but that where this life is I don't know. I just feel like it's
let me give a little bit of clarity to let me quantify this for you, because I just realized I should have asked you to go second because she said something that was really revealing. I've heard of somatic coaching before. We know somatic relationship coaches, somatic therapy, like all this kind of stuff. And part of your conversation was, what is the difference between somatics and traditional therapy? And she talked about somatics being the mind-body connection. Okay. And that is very cliche sounding. Mind-body connection.
Oh,
right?
That's
like,
what I do.
What does that mean? Okay, awesome. Right. But what she's talking about here is, well, if you feel like you're at war with yourself, right, where you're obviously not connected, okay, and she said we can use the power of our mind and our nervous system to create a different experience from that, you know, war-like state. She said that somatics are they really somatic focuses on, it centers around your beliefs. Mm-hmm. Okay. And the way she was talking about it, it made me realize those beliefs could be conscious or not, just unconscious. They're, you know, whether you consciously believe something, it doesn't change the fact that you're still believing something. Yeah. Right. And so, for example, how you feel about something is a belief you've adopted, whether you realize it or not. And she said, this is the key here. This is the key to somatics. Belief is the bridge that connects your mind and your body. Okay, so the body will follow what the mind believes. Okay, and so when you're talking, so the question was that I should have had you ask at the beginning of the mountaintop idea is, tell me about this journey of this bridge of connecting the mind and the body. Is that something you do in like 10 sessions and you're done? Or, what is that? And really, she was talking about that being the mountain that doesn't have a top. You're consistently pursuing, analyzing your beliefs and adjusting your beliefs to be reconnecting your mind and your body, so you can optimize it. You can optimize yourself, right? And the way you approach life, and then your body itself.
Well, and just to like reiterate that it's a lifelong journey, and also you should listen to the interviews too. Because then you'll understand what I am talking about when I bring out what I love. But I think like, because it's a lifelong journey, the reason I keep saying that is it can feel really overwhelming if you're climbing something that never has an end. But it's not that it is this like frustrating, like exhausting, like, oh my gosh, like you're being knocked down over and over again kind of climb. Like when I think of like climbing a mountain, it just sounds like fear and scare and like I'm going to like lose my grip and like it's just a lot. But actually it's just that you are bettering yourself, you are evaluating, you are looking at why you're reacting to things, and you are asking yourself, I mean, we can just go back to Alan's, like, am I doing the best that I can with what I have where I am? Sure. And if one day the answer is no, then that's where you get to do some evaluation and you like keep going up that mountain, So I think it can be really easy for the perfectionist to be like, it's going to happen in 7 days. No, it took you your whole life to get to where you are. It's going to take all those years and more to like unravel that and change and make those changes.
I mean, I laugh about this often, but I remember sitting down for my first voice lesson and confident that I was very good at singing already, which I could certainly sing, but was I good at singing? No. In fact, I was singing completely wrong and I was damaging my voice every time I was singing. I didn't know that, but I thought that I was kicking ass. And I said to her, like, so like, how long does it take to like get my voice where I want to be? Like 6 sessions, like 10? Maybe like 15. And she's like, looks at me like, why don't we just get started and we can cross that bridge as we go. And it's been 13 years.
Yeah. And like, that's the same thing with Pilates. People are like, okay, so like, what do I got to do? Like 10 sessions? I'm like, you'll feel better, certainly. But like, if you want to keep feeling better, you have to keep coming. Like Pilates is a practice with no mountaintop.
Yeah, it's a mountain with no top.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, and if you do Pilates, that doesn't overwhelm you. So it shouldn't overwhelm you to be someone on a pursuit.
Well, it's also hilarious because I didn't realize how much I enjoy my voice lessons and how good they make me feel. And so I am very happy to continue them.
Right. I think
Pilates is probably the same way.
I also think if you ask that kind of question in a Pilates class or to your voice teacher or to your therapist or to any of those things, like it is certainly human nature to want to know where is the end to this.
Sure.
Like I like to know how many times you're going to make me do a jumping jack. I want to know how long this plank hold is going to be. Sure. Like I do want to know that, right? So that's totally human nature. What is amazing, though, is that you heard that there was no end in sight yet, that she was at least going to give you one, and you kept going. And I think that is what puts you on this pursuit of like, okay, I'm willing to trust this person with whatever it is that I'm working on.
Yeah.
And so I think if you are in pursuit of something, don't get so hung up on the logistics if you don't have all the answers right away. Start going. Start moving on. One
step in front of the other. You're definitely going to figure that out as you go along.
Yeah.
All right. So finally, let's talk about those, be it action items. What bold, executable, intrinsic, or targeted action items can we take away from your conversation with Carrie Ford? I am going to jump in and say she said something that made me laugh because we talk about this all the time.
Yeah, but I loved it because she's a mom.
Yeah. She said, pour into yourself first, and then you can pour into others later in the day.
Yep. And I love that she said that because she is a mom of 2 kids and she runs her own business and she actually shares partnership of parenting those kids. And so that's an added layer of needing to organize things. And she said that. And I think, it's just important, women and ladies listening to this, no matter who you're caring for, maybe it's an elderly parent or it's a child, we really do need to pour into ourselves first. So yeah, I love that she said that.
Yeah. And when should you pour into yourself?
So that's mine.
Yes, it is.
So she said, carve out your morning sandbox, which I think is so fun because sandbox means play, right?
Yeah.
Pick 3 items that you want to do for 10 minutes each or so and carve out about an hour in your morning and do them in any order that you feel inclined to do them. So I love this because it's specific, but also there's some play. Okay. So we've had, every single person has that morning routine. You all, literally there are books on this, like the 5 a.m. I'm not saying you have to get up at 5 a.m., but your morning is what sets you up. So she gave this choice. And so if you didn't like the other people's morning routine suggestions, here's one for you. Pick 3 items that you want to do for 10 minutes each or so and carve out about an hour in your morning to do them in any order that you feel so inclined. And I love that because you can change up the order so you don't have to oh crap, I can't do my yoga first, so I can't do any of them. Nope, you can do whatever order you want. And she also gave you an hour to do it so that life can life in between those 10 minutes, or you can, or if you're really loving your meditation, you can stay in it. So I thought
or
that was
if you
fun.
get distracted by a thought, you can take a minute to write it down.
Yeah, you're not so pressed for time. And I really like this also if you have not started a morning routine, but it's been something you want to do. If you've heard how long mine is, look, mine got there over time. It got there by picking things for 10 minutes or doing 30-minute runs or whatever. So give yourself permission to go, okay, what are 3 things I'm going to do in the morning that can make me feel good? And then set a timer. And you know what? If you had meditation, but you sat there and thought about your to-do list, that's okay. You still sat somewhere for 10 minutes and you chalk it up to a practice. I've talked to many meditation people. They're like, it's really okay if your mind wandered.
Sure.
Yeah. So anyways, I thought she was super fun. I love what she's doing with women out in the world. She's someone who's walking her talk and I think that that's also inspiring. And we can all, it's not easy. She's on the path with no top. So it means consistent reevaluation of what she's doing. And I really enjoyed having her on to share that with everybody.
Yeah.
All right. I'm Lesley Logan.
And I'm Brad Crowell.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We are so grateful you're here. How are you going to use these tips in your life? Let us know by sending us a DM or email beit@bloompods.net. And also you can put your questions in there. We'll answer them there. And we hope to see you in real life somewhere along our next week's journey. But if not, I'm sure we'll see you in the future.
Bye for now.
That's all I got for this episode of the Be It Till You See It podcast. One thing that would help both myself and future listeners is for you to rate the show and leave a review. And follow or subscribe for free wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, make sure to introduce yourself over at the Be It Pod on Instagram. I would love to know more about you. Share this episode with whoever you think needs to hear it. Help us and others be it till you see it. Have an awesome day. Be It Till You See It is a production of As the Crows Fly Media.
It's written, produced, filmed, and recorded by your host, Lesley Logan, and me, Brad Crowell. Our associate producer is Amanda Fraterelli.
Kevin Perez at Desenio handles all of our audio editing.
Our theme music is by Ali at Apex Production Music, and our branding by designer and artist Gianfranco Cioffi.
Special thanks to our designer Jairo Mandal for creating all of our visuals, which you can't see because this is a podcast, and our digital producer Jay Pedroso for editing all the video each week so you can.
And to Angelina Herrico for transcribing each of our episodes so you can find them on our website. And finally, to Meredith Crowell for keeping us all on point and on time.